Isn't it mesmerizing to be near a fountain? When was the last time you went to a spa? And what do they do when they have you in the waiting area while you're waiting to get pampered? Is typically they're going to have a water feature there. And there's something even psychologically, physically, about having moving water, having a beautiful fountain. Well, this year, and we only do it one time a year, our friends at Belmont Garden have literally outdone themselves. They have created an entire system that is completely standalone. There's no cords, you don't have to plug it in, nothing like it, and it's brilliant. And they give you the look of a realistic high-end fountain without the weight, but all the style that we want. All right, here's what's happening. It is our today's special, and the price will end at the end of this hour. So you have a little bit of time left to be able to take advantage of it. We've sold over 5,000, and I have 3 colors left. We've already sold out 2 colors. We have the amazing blue. I think this blue is absolutely stunning. It's called slate blue. The one in the middle is taupe. I think this feels very old world. It reminds me of a place called Longwood Gardens up in Pennsylvania. This is what you'd see, this beautiful color. And then finally, if you want to do a lighter color that has a really authentic stone look, you want to go for what's called the gray. I'm going to get my guest Lorna out. And it's very funny because normally when Lorna is with us, it's by Skype and she's over in England. So when I saw her, I thought, of course, Belmont Gardens, it's got to be an English company. They, you know, the English love their gardens, right? No, it's based in San Diego, California. So I thought that was delightful, but it's so good to have you back.
So good to be back. After 6 years here in Florida, thank you for having me with something exceptional.
Yes.
It's a fountain with no cords, no solar panels, no wires. It runs off 4D batteries. It has a timer. But this year, this is their biggest ever, their best ever, packed full of features, fountain like no other. This is that slate blue, as you mentioned. You have different dancing water attachments. You can change it to suit your mood, whether you're boiling hot, whether you're having a party, whether you need to chill out after a very, very long day. So these are your water attachments. And then you also have the most incredible way of adding another tier. So we, for the first time ever, have added a 3rd tier, which gives you an infinity pool on top. So Suzanne, we've got this amazing look. We've got 8 water spouts instead of 4. But they said, hang on a minute, we know so many HSN customers love their birds. Let's add a bird feeding station. So this becomes a bird feeder, a bird bath. And then that's the taupe, as you mentioned, the dark chocolate, rich brown with bronze undertones. We have the gray. This is like a real English stone fountain from a castle grounds. So this is your gray. And what makes it so special is basically, I'm going to find my little tray here, because John Yiser, who invented the cordless fountain 12 years ago, he realized, great, it's cordless, it runs off batteries, not solar, not wires. But sometimes resin fountains, they can actually chip, fade, flake, and peel. So this is soapstone. This is a natural stone material. So John got craftsmen to actually grind up real soapstone and make a special new material called firmastone. Firmastone, if you see, all the way through, there's a color there. That means it can't flake, chip, peel, can't go bad in the sun. And then John also said, let's leave in the chisel marks. Let's leave in the craftsman's way of actually carving, as you would from real stone, into these fountains so they look like antiques made of real stone. They feel like stone, but your secret is it's firmastone. Look at this. Incredible detail. The color here, the striations. This looks like a blue marble.
It's beautiful.
And then that taupe is so rich. I know that's the one you kind of had your eye on. And then the gray.
I love your description. It's like an English castle. It really is. When you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it would look like. Well, and you've got to think about it too. What is something that you can do in your environment, in your world, that creates that spa-like experience? If you go to a real spa, it can cost hundreds of dollars. You do it once, you're like, well, that was lovely, but imagine creating that experience in your home anytime you want. What's even more amazing, this can be outside. This can even be tabletop inside if you want it to be. I think that's one of the big wow things with this. Is it's not just, oh, I'm going to use it spring and summer. In the fall, I got to put it away because the leaves and the snow and all that's coming. Look what happened here. Kind of explain what happened.
Okay, so in a minute, I'm going to build one for you to show how easy it is. But this is our taupe, and this shows you how, oh my gosh, it becomes a tabletop fountain. The pedestal pieces, the 2 bases, You turn them upside down, Suzanne, and look at this. They become matching planters. This looks like it costs
So again,
hundreds of
this
dollars.
is part of the bottom
This
pedestal.
is all part of the bottom.
And you can put real flowers in here if you want to. You can use this plant, and that's part of the pedestal.
That's part of it.
Okay, and then this is the highest tier that we have. That's a flower pot.
And then
there's our bird feeder.
Bird feeding station. And what people love about this, first of all, it's battery powered, and one set of D batteries, on average, if you use a timer 1 to 4 hours a day for an hour a day, it's going to last about 2 months.
And there's a timer built in.
Yeah, a repeat daily timer. You can have it manual on-off for up to 6 hours with button A. Button B, you press it once for 1 hour, up to 4 for 4 hours. Say at 6 o'clock at night, it will then go off at 7, repeat the next day. Only 2 buttons to worry about. But the beauty of this, Suzanne, is it takes longer to get out the box than it does to build your fountain. Because these are the 2 base pieces. Now, these are your standalone flower pots if you want to use them as planters. But to assemble, you flip them over. That's your base. This is your pedestal. It sits on top with no tools needed. Now, I'm going to show you the bowl. This is a slate blue to show you the striations and the marbling. That soapstone that is blended with a composite polymer gives you all the look and beauty of a natural marbled stone, the feel of a stone without the weight or the expense. Now this, it literally twists and locks into place onto your pedestal. So again, no tools, takes seconds. We then have an inner core. This part also, you pop it in, you twist and you lock. Now the beating heart of the Bernini fountains is what was invented by John Yiser in San Diego, California, not in the UK. This is your pump system, self-contained. You attach this tube from the pump up to the battery compartment. You just need a Phillips screwdriver. Loosen, you don't undo them the whole way. Loosen the 2 screws. Push down your battery compartment, pop in 4D batteries. They're going to last up to 2 months with average use, an hour a day. Push this back up, tighten up your screws, it becomes watertight. 2 buttons, A on off, B 1 to 4 hour repeat timer. If you want to cancel the timer, press A twice. That's it. Drop this in, then the magic happens when you add the water. So this is just regular water, you fill it up. Imagine you've had a really tough, stressful day. Imagine it's really hot, you want to cool down, you press a button. That is it. That's the assembly you need to do. This is the look that you can get with all those dancing water spouts, with the 3rd tier, the bird feeding station. Mother's Day around the corner, Suzanne.
Oh, it's the best Mother's Day gift.
This could be a total winner. And there's that standalone new 3rd tier used as a bird bath, a bird feeder. I mean,
well, and kind of let me explain what happened. We only do this 1 time a year. And last year's version, which had less spouts and had less tiers and less features, completely sold out. We're down to the final 3 colors, and this is your last hour and last chance to get it at today's special price of $139.95. It's literally it's gonna go up $40 when we hit midnight tonight and launch our new today's special. We have 5 flex, you can get this home for about $28, and we've reduced the shipping on it to just a little bit over $5. I do need to update you on quantity though, because it's the end of the day and it is the last presentation, and we are down to our final quantity on it. So if you wanna get the taupe, this is that really, for me, very antique-y, very old world looking. In the taupe color, I have under 500 left if you're getting the taupe. And remember, this is like a chocolatey brown. So when I think taupe, I think lighter, but it's okay. Just remember, it's like a
dark taupe.
Antique. It's a dark taupe. I think of it like an antique color. If you're getting the gray, that is our next most limited right now. Again, under 500 left in the gray. And again, I love how you said, looks like an English fountain in a castle in England. And then, of course, we have this amazing blue, which is such a really pretty color. If you really think about it, blue's the most dominant color in nature. Think blue sky, blue water, blue flowers. It is a blue gemstone. It's a huge color in nature, and so it just blends in beautifully. And the neat thing about this is what I love the most. It's not just, oh, I enjoy it in the spring and summer, and it's got to be outdoors, and I had to hire an electrician to run power, or I've got some stupid extension cord trying to plug into the wall. It's all self-contained, but it can be outdoors all summer, spring, into the fall, and then you move it indoors and use it tabletop. Or imagine just putting this in your foyer, in your entry of your home. Imagine imagine it just on your front porch.
Oh.
How cool it would be for you to sit out there with a hot cup of coffee or a tea or a wine or a cocktail. You're reading a book and all of a sudden you have this beautiful water feature on the corner of your porch and you're enjoying that beautiful summer evening. It would be so peaceful.
Suzanne, it is the sound of running water, like the babbling brook. And Guy Yovan said this morning, people pay for apps and websites to listen to the sound of running water, to calm them down, to soothe them, to relax them. This is your way of finding that maybe 10 minutes a day where you escape the world. You come out onto your balcony, into your yard, you sit down with your cup of tea or your glass of wine, and then you listen. I could go to sleep right now. Literally, I could have a nap because this for me is so soporific, so soothing. And what makes this special? First of all, cordless. There's not a solar panel in sight. You can use this at night, under a tree. There's no wires, no plugs, no sockets. There's a self-contained pump inside. 4D batteries is all you need. On average, an hour a day on timer, up to 2 months before you change them. But it's also the material these are made from. This is soapstone. This is a natural rock found in nature. Soapstone is a beautiful marbled striated rock. John Yiser and the team said, let's take natural soapstone, let's grind it down, let's mix it with a composite polymer. It sounds techie, but what does it mean? If you took a slice of one of your fountains, the color runs all the way through. This means no fading, peeling, cracking, chipping. And then John said, let's leave in the chisel marks from the stonesman who actually crafted the molds that we made these from. Let's make it look like it's antique stone. Let's make it feel like stone. This is why you don't have to worry about any paint flaking off, any cracking or peeling. It's firmer stone, real soapstone blended in. And this is one that we've now turned into, my gosh, a tabletop planter, another planter, sorry, tabletop fountain, a planter and a bird feeder, or you can have them separate if you wish. And then the other pedestal becomes
another
matching planter. I mean, this is...
think about how gorgeous this is gonna look. Even if you use this, maybe it's gonna be on your front porch, or maybe you have the teeniest little patio, and it's your little slice of your life, or it's a rental that you live in, and you just wanna make it perfect, and you wanna make it just serene and spa-like. This literally can go anywhere. And you can't say that about typical fountains.
Oh, no.
Certainly if you have a formal one installed, they're very heavy, you're never moving it, you have no versatility with it, it just is what it is. And then of course, you've gotta have it wired, which costs you a lot of money. Now, in the spring, in the summer, you put it out in a little corner garden, on the patio, on the deck, on your little teeny balcony in the middle of New York City. I don't know where you live, but it gives you that versatility. And then what I love is when the weather gets really nasty, bring it into your foyer, bring it into your living room. Have fun with it. If you have a big enough bathroom, can you imagine candles, a glass of wine, a bubble bath, and your fountain feature in your bathroom? Like that would be pretty, that'd be a slice of heaven on earth.
It really would. And Belmont wanted to give you their biggest ever, their best ever feature-packed fountain this year. So first of all, this is it as a pedestal, 3 foot high, really grand. If you want, you can add the new third tier. This will give you 4 extra water spouts. You can add the new bird feeding station if you wish. But what I want to do right now is just take it apart. Because you might think, hang on, taking it apart, what does that mean? It means, because this is stone blended, so I can lift this even full of water. I'm going to take it off the base. I'm going to show you how this base has a little hole there for drainage. That becomes a planter that matches your fountain. And then you literally twist off the big bowl. And maybe it's Mother's Day, you're planning a surprise lunch. You could put this on your table, twist it off. Again, no tools needed for this part. It just assembles like a dream. Put this on the table or on the floor. Ooh, that pedestal, you flip it, that becomes another planter. And I've got some faux flowers here just to show you how in probably 30 seconds, I have turned this into a whole new look, a look that looks very, very high-end, very expensive. Let's turn that fountain on. That's it, done. I'm ready now. Sit back with my glass of wine, put one of those water spouts on to change up the look.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, There's no other fountains like this.
I really marvel at how clever this is. I mean, they really thought, like, look at that. And again, if we widen out just a little bit more, you're missing kind of the bird feeder over here. This is everything you're getting when you pick this up today. You can, multiple ways to use it, multiple ways to change it up. If you change your mind or change your mood. Maybe it's in the front walkway, or maybe you have a little garden area under a tree out front. But then you're gonna have a barbecue and you're having everybody over for the 4th of July. You literally pick the thing up and move it back to the patio, by the barbecue, by the pool, by your garden outside. Maybe you've got a sweet little spot you've always wanted to make that kind of your meditative Zen area, and you've got a tree. You get a really comfortable Adirondack chair. Put this out there with it, turn the timer on, don't even think about it. Once you turn the timer on, you set it and forget it. And then every evening when you come home after a crazy day at work, you just sit out there and enjoy nature and that sound of the water. It's mesmerizing when we're near beautiful water fountains. We all know that. You know it if you've gone to a spa. I love it for the birds.
I know, the brand new 3rd tier, the most water spouts ever, but it's also a bird feeding station if you wish. You get the different dancing waterheads too. It changes the look and the sound. Talking of sound, imagine hottest day of the year. You feel cool, you feel calmer because you are listening to the sound of a fountain without wires, without solar panels. The batteries are what powers this. The water recirculates, you don't have to plumb it in. This is the blue. So you have the blue without, it looks like a deep blue marbled stone because it's made with real soapstone powder with that composite polymer. It looks aged, it looks weathered, it looks very expensive. So this is your blue. Then the taupe is a dark chocolate taupe. Yes. It's a really rich brown with bronze undertones. This is our brand new tier for this year. An infinity pool if you wish, the most spouts ever, 8 pouring spouts. But John and the team knew people love their birds. So you can add the new bird feeding station. This is like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and a spa for the birds because they've got water, they've got food. So that is the taupe. And then where I live in England, there's a lot of castles, palaces, stately homes, mansions, and a lot of the castles in this grey stone colour, they have grand fountains in the driveway. So when you come in, my sister got married in a lovely stately home, sweeping stairs with a big mansion. The focal point as you entered was the fountain. Yes. So many people went and had their picture by the fountain because this is a fountain that doesn't need armoured cabling under the lawn, a power socket in the yard, a big extension lead. Runs off the 4D batteries, 2 buttons only, on and off, up to 6 hours, switches off, done. Or timer, repeats the next day, 1 to 4 hours. Just press button B 1 to 4 times, and if you want to cancel it, press A twice. It is that easy, Suzanne. And just again to show you some of the different looks that you get with this. This is a bubbler. This is all of them come with this bubbler feature. Birds, dragonflies, bees, butterflies, love it. I like the umbrella. I call this the spider web of water. Because this, if you have it indoors, like you've been talking about, it's less overspray, it's great for an indoor setting. But say you've got a party, maybe it's your birthday, maybe it's an anniversary, you want to celebrate the pirouette. The water leaps up high, dances around. In the sunshine, this looks incredible. But it's not just the water spouts. You get the 3rd tier, you get the bird feeding station, then you get the opportunity to have it as a pedestal fountain, or, like we have here, a complete set as a tabletop. 2 matching planters. A baby planter, which has the bird feeding station in here. This is that taupe, that rich dark chocolate. And it looks like stone, but your secret is firmer stone, soapstone blend, doesn't chip, fade, peel, crack, go bad in the sun. This is a fountain to last for years.
And I think that's important to realize too. It doesn't chip, it's not gonna fade. A lot of the ones that are out there are painted. And so literally they get a good summer going on and it's rough around your area, maybe it's a lot of sun beating on it, they immediately start to fade. You see one side is faded and the other side's not, the one that's getting beat up by the sun. It's not gonna happen, it's not gonna chip. A lot of the other ones out there, they chip because they're painted. This is that color is through and through. So even if you were some weird way have to scratch this, you're not gonna see any kind of weird plastic or white or kind of a styrofoam. You know, they do those lot of styrofoam stuff. And it literally looks like stone. That is what's so cool about how they've done it. A lot of times, I know you've seen people's fountains and they look plasticky and they look really gross and they're really cheap looking. This really genuinely looks like stone. And it actually feels like it when you touch it. Funny enough, there's a coolness to it like a stone would feel.
There is.
Because it's obviously literally made. Its essence is stone.
This is soapstone. This is one of nature's most beautiful stones. You can see here inside this bowl. What we wanted to do, John Yice and the team said, if you take a segment of our fountain, because it's made with ground soapstone and a composite polymer, the colour goes all the way through, as you mentioned. John said, let's keep in the individual chisel marks from the master stonemason who actually created the moulds for us to then make these fountains. So they look and feel like vintage, antique stone without the weight, without the expense. And very quickly, I want to show you how we've made one here into the tabletop or ground fountain and the planters, but how easy it is to then change it back, because maybe you've had your party, you've had the, celebrations, you want to change it.
Or you just change your mind.
That's very true.
That's me.
Yeah. Then you just take out your plants and then you turn the base over. This is your base. Your planter becomes the pedestal. There's no tools here. You just put it on top of each other. And then the bowl, if this was stone, we'd need about 4 of us to lift it on top. With this, you literally put it on, you twist and lock it into place, and then suddenly I've got my pedestal fountain in 20 seconds, I think that took me. And if I can do it, believe me, anyone can do this. And there you go. And then if I wanted to, all new for 2025, I could add the 3rd tier, I could add the bird feeding station and have even more water spouts pouring down. And you've got so many options. And you might think, do you know what? It's time to treat myself. I don't want to do up the whole garden, but I want to do up a corner for me. Adding one of these, having something like this, what a difference it's going to make.
And it's just instant change. Just envision this on your front porch. Just think about your front porch. Maybe you've got some nice rocking chairs out there. Maybe you've got some Adirondack chairs. Maybe you've got a pretty couch out in your front porch, outdoor couch or what have you. Imagine this welcoming people come into your home, or welcoming you after a long day. Or the first thing in the morning you go out and you're on your phone and you're just flipping through, all your news sites or whatever. Or you're reading the newspaper like we used to do. This is going to be such a wonderful, mesmerizing little experience you're going to be able to create. If you have an area outside, out back, that's kind of dull and nothing's happening to it, maybe it's along a walkway that goes out to your garage. Imagine this somewhere tucked in. Maybe you have a really pretty flower bed out front and you want to make it next level. You're going to put this there and instantly, very successfully, you now have a beautiful water feature. I wish we had more photos of it kind of in its environment. Because once you get it, we'll see it here, but that's, what an unusual place to put it, just right there on a patio. But imagine if it was tucked towards that front porch. Or maybe you get 2 of them and flank 2 sides of your sidewalk in the garden area with 2 of these would be amazing. Now, unfortunately, that's a color that's now completely sold out. We're down to only 3, and I think it's important to realize we're about to launch a brand new Today's Special. In fact, Joy Mangano is going to be joining us. It is an amazing luggage set we have coming up at midnight. When we hit midnight, the price will absolutely not be tonight's price. It's going to go up a lot at midnight. So if you want to take advantage of it, we're at $139.95, and we've got maybe, 40 minutes left or 30 minutes left in the day, so the price will come to an end. We also have 5 flex pays. If you have a major credit card, you actually can get this home for about $28, and that's awesome. Please think gift idea. Do you have the mom or someone in your life it's really hard to buy for? If you gave them this as a Mother's Day gift, I would be shocked if someone gave it to me. I'd be like, really? That is so beautiful and so clever. If you don't have a lot of space, it's gorgeous. If you've just got a little patio or a deck, if you rent and you just want to make that little teeny outdoor space you have that much better, it's fabulous. But what I love is inside too. This is not just, I'm going to enjoy it in spring and summer and a little bit of fall, that's it. This is literally, when it's snowing out, you're going to bring this baby inside and put it in your foyer. Put it in the living room. How cool would that be to have a water feature in your living room? Again, if you have a decent sized bathroom, how delicious would this be in a bathroom to really create your own spa at home? Like, I love that idea. So if you've got the space for it in a bathroom, I would 100% put it there. If you're having a party and you want to use it as a tabletop feature, can you imagine how shocked people will be if they walk into your front door? And you've got a fountain on in the front hallway. I mean, that would be amazing, right?
Incredible. And this is cordless, no solar powers, no wiring, no plumbing needed. This runs off 4D batteries, use an hour a day on average on timer, up to 2 months. And then you've also got this new material, Firmastone, made with real soapstone. So it looks and feels like stone without the weight or the price. You have all the water spouts and the new 3rd tier and bird feeding station. You can have it as a pedestal, You can break it down and use it in planters, all different ways. The hard part is, before midnight strikes, what color are you going to go for?
And get the price, because who wants to pay more when you don't have to? Like, that just stinks.
Yeah.
And well, you know what's really funny? A lot of people will discover it online tomorrow, and they'll be happy to pay more for it, because it really is the most advanced, the most versatile, and the most clever that you guys have ever done for us.
Absolutely.
Really,
Biggest, best ever.
It is. It's the biggest bang for your buck, and it's the only time we'll do it all year. And imagine if you buy it now, you get it in a couple days, you just have years of enjoyment. It's one of those things that you've got to take the price and divide it by many years.
Oh, yeah.
And how much it'll really improve your world. It truly does.
It really does.
Yeah. Well, it's been lovely.
Oh,
Thank you so much for hanging out.
Thanks so much for having me after 6 years.
Yay, she's here. Literally, I've only seen her over Skype for 100 years. Well, 60, I guess it's been 6 years since I've seen you, so there you go. All right, thanks for being with us tonight.
Suzanne.
All right, guys, we have more ways to actually be able to decorate your home and your outdoor, and this next one is one that I've had for a really long time, or I had for a long time. We had a pool